We on. I do not know what's going on in America with the youth of America, the millennials and the Gen Z. What is your opinion? What do you think? Is this just the norm? Is this the norm of what's going on? Is everything as it is? I don't know. Let's listen to this. I can't imagine being homeless again and living in my car in 2026.
I am back. Really sorry for the hiatus. And if you're new here, for those of you who don't know, I am currently homeless and living in my car. I'm really sorry that it's been over a week since my last post. Just kind of been going through it lately, but I wanted to let you know that everything's somewhat good. Like I'm fine physically, but I've been just going through it in other ways. So I have a few updates for you all. First update is that I just recently quit my other job that I had, the one that I was training for laser slash receptionist. Yeah, I decided to quit that job. Yeah, I'm so sorry if you're disappointed, but I decided to quit that job because for a lot of reasons, honestly. The number one reason is because I felt that they had very high standards when it comes to the treatment room, and I felt like I wasn't good enough when I was in my laser training. Like, they had very strict rules, very strict protocols that I needed to follow, which I completely understand why they had all of those protocols. Like, I get it. We're trying to make sure that the customer and the client is happy after their treatment, which makes perfect sense to me. I don't know, I felt like every time I would make a decision in the treatment room, I just felt like it was never good enough. Or I was told, like, no, you need to do it this way, or like, I don't know, you guys. I just started to feel uncomfortable whenever I was doing my laser training. So that's one reason. And also, there's no tea, no shade to the company. Like, I completely respect why they did certain things or why they have those specific protocols. Like, I completely get it. But at the same time, I don't want to go into work feeling like a failure, you know what I mean?
No, I do not really know what you mean. I understand. But in reality, in life, man, you gotta you just informed us that it was a new job. You're going through training, and you understand the protocols, and you're going to feel that way. It's a new job. Everybody know when you're working a new job, you're gonna be on edge, and they're gonna try to teach you the correct way. You're gonna feel like you don't know what you're doing when you first start a job, and it seems like you have experiences with finding careers and jobs, but you're too much in your feelings, and to be homeless and putting yourself, that's sad. If I was your brother, your uncle, your dad, I'd be terrified. I'm like, where you at? I'd be worried about you. But just to hear, and you're not throwing them. I'm on the West Coast. I'm seeing a lot of people in the community doing this. They got a job and they're quitting, but you just explained to us why you quit, and it doesn't add up. I can see if you quit a job and you're not capable. But you were capable. You was understanding the complexities of the job. You were understanding how it made you feel. Yes, that's your feeling, but you didn't give it a chance because you just informed us it was at the beginning of your training. You was in training. You haven't been at the company long enough. So to be caught in your feelings and just got on the job, and they're willing to train you, they must like you. They like your presentation, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, your visual presence. It might have worked for their company. Laser something you were saying. Um, Recovery. Yes, you're not going to. It's going to be a tense environment because these are high end. It seems like high end, affluent clients that will be doing these type of surgeries or type of services. Um, because you said something with lasers. So when you're hearing lasers and it's dealing with human beings, that's something that's going to be high end, be it a specialty or something. I don't know what it was, but that's what I'm getting from you, as she was stating. So yeah, you're gonna have that sensation. but you don't quit your job, young lady. You don't, and you don't have one in line. That's not that's not ideal, and and that is the result of if you can't afford to pay your bills, you're going to be homeless. I was homeless at one time. I would not be try to be home. I work hard. I figured out, but not to be homeless again, and not to just be caught in my feelings. I respect your feelings, and it's okay to feel so way. But you just outlined and described to us. You were at the beginning of the job. Of course, you're going to feel that way. Everyone's going to feel that way to a certain extent, that they're not capable, they're not up to par because it's a new job. Unless you had a degree or certificate training or you're training in that particular field, then you could have that kind of sensation like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm not meeting up to your expectations, your protocol. But they was willing to train you from your own mouth. You told us they were willing to train you and correcting you when you're doing something wrong. And you're new, so quite natural. I'm like, okay, I'm new. I don't know. But just to be in your feelings and quit the job, it's a difference. Okay, let me be the other side. Let me play the other side. Now, if you didn't like the job, and you figure you didn't like the job, and that seemed like what it was, and you quitting the job, that's good. But you should have waited till you got at least a couple of paychecks or something. At least give them time, let them know that you're going to quit, and I hope that's what you did, and then move on to this new job you're looking for. That's more at your speed or something that you really want to do. So I was hoping that was the event because I watched the video a little bit and I seen that you have moved to a new job. We'll be talking about this in a minute, but just to start a new job and quit, that doesn't add up. Two and two doesn't add up to four. It's look. I don't know. What is your opinion? Leave your comment down below, chat. This generation is different. I'm working till I get something. I'm working at least till I can have a hotel for a couple months to transition. Because sleeping out in your car and out there in the open, anybody could come at you, and you sleep at night. Oh man, it's not. And it seems like the country is getting hotter and all over the country. And so running your AC, running your car, gas, all man, you're putting a lot of problems on you. So I'm just I will be worried about you. If I was your relative, I would be worried about. What do you think, Chad? What is your opinion? Leave a comment down below. Let's continue.
I want to go into work feeling confident, knowing what I'm doing is right. So at the end of the day, I just feel like me and that company were just like not compatible anymore. And every time, if I start to get anxiety going into work, that is my cue that it's time to leave. But the good news is that I do have a new job. That's why I'm actually getting ready right now, applying makeup so I can look somewhat presentable. But I have a new job starting today. I have an hour to get ready, which I am so happy, so grateful for. It's another laser hair removal place. I'm so blessed and so lucky that I was able to find laser hair removal job right away. Wish me luck, that everything goes right. But yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I haven't been posting lately, because I haven't had a job. I've been unemployed for the past week. And to be quite honest with you, I just felt embarrassed and scared to tell people that I quit my job, because I knew that I was going to receive a lot of backlash. I knew that I was going to receive a lot of negative comments, a lot of bullying, like, how could you leave your full-time job knowing your situation, that you're homeless? And I completely understand all of those. Like, I understand why I would be receiving those comments. Like, I get it. Like, if you're homeless, you should have just kept the job. But at the same time, I don't want to be going into work feeling defeated.
Let's talk about this, Chad. Now I'm confused. Now I'm literally confused. Laser removal. Now I have to understand it's a laser removal. Yeah, that's a specialty. So people getting that type of service, that specialties, they want the imagery. They want all this. This is all aesthetics. And you quit the job that you immediately go in and got the same type of job? Young America, let me talk to you. It's not about bullying. It's not about uh, uh, these people are actually, we were asking you questions. Why? It's not adding up. It's not making sense. It's not sensible. Everyone has feelings. Everyone, you have the right to your feelings. No one's denying that. But the reality is this: how do you quit a job and then go back right into the same job, the same career? Okay, you didn't tell us you didn't like nothing about the team. If you go watch this video again, go watch what she says. She never said nothing. She liked the team. She just said she didn't like the way she was feeling like she wasn't keeping up with the information about the job, the training, and she informed us that it was a new job as training. What do you think the same job going to do? They're going to have the same type of trainings. Might be a little variant, but it's the same job. You're going to have to do the same recovery room. Everybody, I never been in that, but I can imagine you're going in there, you're getting laser surgery, laser removal. You're getting some removal, so you're going to have to do some what's that? When you first come in greeting, they're gonna have you gonna learn how to do the front office. You're gonna do the process part by taking their information. Then you got to do the support of the laser, the specialist that does the laser removals. Then you got to do the back end, the recovery time, if there's a recovery time. And she seemed to say there was a recovery time. I know nothing about this. I'm just learning from what she just told us in her short video. So, yes, it seems like this particular specialty is going to have the same similarities. So you're putting yourself back in the same scenario, back in the same fishbowl. Now I'm curious, like, why are you doing this to yourself? If you're not happy, you're not comfortable, why would you look for the same particular job? You didn't say you didn't like the team. You understood what they were looking for. And you're going to go do the same job? What do you think is going to happen? These are questions. If I was your relative, I would ask, what do you think is going to happen? What is your opinion, chat? That confused me right there. I was like, wait a minute. And then it's not all about feelings, it's about employment. It's about being able to have a roof over your head, food in your stomach, clothes on your back, gas in your car, just to just exist. That's just basic existence in a society, anywhere. So why would you do that to yourself? I don't understand it. And go do the same job again. And she watched the video. She didn't say anything about the team was bad or so. There was nothing wrong with the co-work. She just felt uncomfortable. In her information, she felt like she wasn't doing the job to the level they wanted her to do it at, but she was learning. And now you go and do the same job. I don't understand. Let's continue on. And you're not being bullied. These are just questions ones were asked. I'm asking these questions because I don't think I would tell no young American to follow this track because you need employment, especially in 2026. It's rough out there. We got wars in Iran. We got Ukraine still going on. We got gas prices. Rents are high. The corporations are moving all across the country, shaking up the whole infrastructure of employment. Companies are laying people out by the thousands. It's crazy out here. So just to quit a job is not something that the average American can afford. Let's continue on.
If that makes sense. Hopefully all goes well in this job that I'm starting at today. Wish me luck. I'm super excited. Today's actually my very first day. I'm just getting ready. Okay, I'm done getting ready for my new job. Please wish me good luck. Hopefully this job brings me a lot of prosperity. Hopefully I get along with all of my coworkers and my managers. Just please wish me good luck. Hey, you guys.
Okay. At the end of this video, she said, hopes you get along with the managers and the staff, her co-workers, and anyone will wish a person good luck on a new job. But you put yourself in the same situations. So if it's what we heard, most of the things she was talking about is about the company, about the the title, job title, what you do in the job title was the problem, and you put yourself in the same job. So 60, 50, at least 50% of the job is going to be the same scenario. So you're repeating the same conditions that you was in the previous job. Another thing I want to talk to you about, young America. Take this as an example. Now, do not keep quitting jobs because that sends a message when a company asks you, where did you work last work? How long did you work there? It's going to be a point while you're young, you feel like you can do this. But as you get a little older, in your 20s, late 20s, you start seeing like people start asking, give me your resume, give me your last three jobs. When you go to your last job and it's just 3 months here, 6 months there, they're going to be like, hey, what's going on here? That's a red flag for most hiring managers. So you got to watch what you're doing. So before you take a job, you need to really research and ask yourself, reflect, and see if you really want to work in this kind of space, because you don't want to end up like this situation. This is, I wish this young lady the best. I wish I could have talked to her, but I wish nothing bad on her. I'm glad she found another job, but there's a lot of red flags here. Things I would ask to try to support her in a positive way and make her think before she gets back into this position. Or what is she want to be a job where you have a good team, where it's a good team environment, people like you. Do you like to be the center of attention? Are you an introvert or extrovert? um it's good to look innocent and everything, but you got to know your personality and the personality of the team you like to work on, that it's positive and it will motivate you and support you. But that's not the ideal. This is not high school. This is not college where there's more support mechanisms. This is an employment world. This is the real world. You're out here as another young adult trying to exist and trying to thrive and be successful. And there's nothing wrong with, no one's going to paint negative pictures on you, but these are the realities you got to face. And everybody's not going to, these systems, these education systems, they very much sometimes coddle young Americans. And when they get out of that system, they go into the employment system, then they feel like they want to go back because they missed that coddling, and you don't get that. And I don't think that transition is there too much from education space to the work and employment space. There's a leap between both, and this is where the young Americans are getting caught up because there's a lot of emotionalism and a lot of need to be the center of attention. I'm seeing a lot of videos just showing that, and that's not the reality in the work world. You go there for employment, to do a job, to do some work duties and activities to support the company to move forward in that their direction, their aims, their mission, their vision statements, and then they give you a pay for that service, for the labor, and that's the only real bottom line relationship. And hopefully you could build rapport with the team if that's team driven in that space. But every job is not team driven. Every company wants a team positive environment, but that's not necessarily the directive. The directive would be to serve the community, and that's the focus point, not to keep you happy. So there's a lot of things that young Americans need to be discussing. That's why I used to do workshops in the community to ask questions to get young people ready for when they first get their jobs, because this is not ideal, and you can't keep quitting jobs because it leaves a bad legacy or resume when you go look for employment when you hit 25. If you're 25 years old, you need to quit 5 jobs. That doesn't look good. That doesn't, and a lot of managers are going to be nice and polite, but they're going to be very hesitant to take somebody because they don't know if you will stay with the company. And if they hire you, they're looking you at least stay for a while. And so if you don't, then they wasted their time. You wasted your time, and they could have found somebody that wanted to be there. That's more motivated, want the job, want to stay consistent, want to be employed, want to take care of their bills and stuff. So this is another thing I look at. But what do you think? Leave a comment down below. It's amazing with this new generation and what's going on in society and how they move in society. It's amazing. I wish them the best. I wish her nothing but success, and I hope this outcome works well for her. But there's a lot of interesting red flags. What do you think, chat?